We need to address the elephant in the room because there are two Celestes involved in David's case, and there's been a lot of confusion on whether we have the right Celeste or not. Believe it or not, there's a lot of people who are currently defending David. Yes, there are David defenders out there saying that we've got it all wrong, that he was actually in a relationship with a Celeste who was of age and she's still alive. Here's a great example of the two different Celestes. We have our Celeste Hernandez, Celeste number 1, who's unfortunately no longer with us. And then we got Celeste Herrera, who is 23 years old, according to this little screenshot. I have a TikTok video I want us to react to where they break down some of the differences between our two Celestes.
Why are there two Celestes? In this mysterious and tangled story, Celeste isn't just one person. She has two faces. The first Celeste is 15-year-old Celeste Rivas Hernandez. When her body was found, she had a "shh" tattoo on her arm. Through her family's confirmation, the police learned that she had a boyfriend named David. The second Celeste is 23-year-old Celeste Herrera, who frequently interacts with David on social media. Strangely, she not only shares a similar name with the first Celeste, but also bears an uncanny resemblance in appearance and temperament. Why do so many coincidences exist? One possibility is that he had developed an obsession with the younger Celeste. The photos and tattoos hint at a once sweet relationship, but something terrible happened, and he could never see the younger Celeste again. So he's searching for the next substitute. The older Celeste's appearance seems like fate sending him a stand-in with the same name and similar.
Now, I'm not gonna go there. I don't think that our new Celeste number 2, was like a replacement for Celeste number 1. I feel like she was more of a way to confuse the identity of the younger Celeste so people would think that it's just her. Kind of a convenient way for David to live his life because now we've got two different Celestes to decipher. Now, there are two individuals coming forward who claim they had interactions with both Celeste and older Celeste. It actually turns out that older Celeste went by CC when the two were around. So these two Celestes knew each other. One person said, "One thing I can talk about is I'm 100% sure that there are two Celestes because I've met them both and spoken to them both. One thing about that, looking back, is that I find it weird that when they were both in the same room, the older one calls her CC. If one was there and the other wasn't, then she'd call herself Celeste. So interesting that the older one would change her name just for the younger one when they were in group hangouts." One person claims that at one of these parties where they met the two Celestes, actually a tattoo artist was there and refused to tattoo the younger Celeste because they did not have proof of her age, so she could not sign a consent form. I want to read a little bit from their statement they gave. "I believe the last time David contacted my friend was when he played a show in San Diego August 5th. Also, I'm hearing that the older Celeste is claiming that she never knew or met Celeste, and that's a damn lie because this is Celeste in the back and that is her looking annoyed and miserable as usual." So people are calling Celeste, the older Celeste, on her BS, and I wonder why would she want to lie about meeting this dead minor unless she had some information that she knows could get her in trouble. During group streams, David would pull the younger Celeste aside, telling her to watch the stream from a separate room away from others. This behavior drew attention, especially at the tattoo party, because the female artist, referred to as Jay, refused to tattoo the younger Celeste due to her suspected minor status. The artist insisted on proper identification despite David's insistence that Celeste was 19. I mean, I know why he wanted her out of the room when they were streaming, because he kind of knew that this was going to happen in the future. He didn't want to be linked up with her. And I don't think that the older Celeste wants to be in cahoots with David either. She recently unfollowed David on social media. One person suspects that he got the first one pregnant, and if people discovered it, that would have ruined his career. So he unalived her. Well, apparently there's a new third Celeste. What the hell? Which is who he made the song about. The first and second Celeste are people he did hang out with, which is kind of sketchy. I mean, does he have an obsession with the name Celeste? We're going to hear answers soon because I'm sure this week he's either going to be in for questioning or behind bars. I mean, the kid isn't working. He's been dropped from everything, festivals, his own tour, his record label. So he's got nothing else out in the music industry. He was supposed to come out with a new album last week titled Manassas, which is actually a word to describe when a tree dies and it holds on to its leaves, or the leaves will die, but the tree will still hold on to it, which is the idea of holding on to dead parts, which is kind of morbid, thinking about him holding on to dead parts inside his vehicle, and that his next album, Manassas, was kind of like the like, technical word for this. Now, there are other people who are accusing David of knowing Celeste for a long time, since she was like 10 or 11. One person wrote, "I'm watching the live right now, but I just want to say that me and my friend are trying to recall everything. We were all in a Fortnite team called Chronic, which is where I met him. He met her in like 2021 through Fortnite, I'm pretty sure, and then he made her get a Discord. Everyone in the team knew about her, and he would joke about it and brush it off every time that it was mentioned. That's all I personally know, but my friend Pistol knows more because they talked way more. So I guess Pistol would talk to Celeste, and she claims that she would say that David would like harm her, like R-word her, but then would follow it up with a joke, so she wasn't sure if she was being serious or not. Well, David is about 5 years older than Celeste is, and if she was 10 in 2021, that is pretty creepy that a 15-year-old was looking into a 10-year-old. Now, I'm going to put this video on the screen because David's been called out by people in the past. In 2024, he was called out for messing with a 13-year-old girl on TikTok. And if you guys look at this video, you can see the comment is still there. So there have been warning signs out here since like 2024. People have been, like a niche group of people have been aware of his relationship with this minor. Looking at more proof, here is an instance where David and Celeste are linked up again through Spotify. People were looking at the data and could tell that they did collaborative playlists together. This is something that a lot of people in relationships will do or friends will do. Now, Celeste was on social media, but it's pretty hard to tell which was her accounts and to try to find a paper trail, but it looks like her sister actually was able to get into her Instagram. She revealed that they did not know where Celeste was and did not know David personally. They only ever had heard of this man. She says Celeste was only 15 years old. She should still be here with us. She trusted someone who didn't protect her, and now she's gone. She said that police told us not to share any evidence since it's still being finalized. So it looks like police are going through Celeste's social medias as well and building up all of this evidence, which I think takes a lot more time than like physical evidence does. You know what I mean? Like they have to go online and get all these things straight, opposed to being at a crime scene where you take a sample and you test it. Recently, there was a memorial held in Celeste's hometown for her, and God bless all of those people there supporting her and trying to fight for justice. At this point, if David is not arrested, then like what is the justice system? Like it's truly failed us. I found one creepy clip of him talking about his music, and when he played it for his mother had an adverse reaction to the fact that he's singing about killing people.
It was cool if she hated it. I played it for her in the car, and she was like, "David, this song is too violent. You're talking about killing people in your music? No, not my son." And I was like, wait, I might be onto something, bro. So I dropped it right after that, and it went crazy. TikTok viral, 1 million views overnight. I was like, oh yeah, we cooking, boy.
Now, if that was my son, I would be like, oh, we're going to the Looney Tune bin, or we're going to be headed to the church. We're going to do a little exorcism. Now, I know we briefly mentioned the idea of a third Celeste earlier. I don't know who the hell the third Celeste would be, but there is a interesting photo of David with a fan, and it looks like he was outside his own van. And if you guys look at the license plate, it looks like it's supposed to mimic like Celeste's name. Like, is this some obsession that he has with the name Celeste? Like, was this a random order? All of this is too much of a coincidence. Somebody looked into the second part of that license plate, the 885. It's an angel number. It carries a positive message of accomplishment. It suggests that you have the power to achieve anything you set your mind to and should be able to trust your abilities. In the matters of love, it encourages taking risks and trusting the process to improve your relationship. There's another disturbing video that is going viral that David had actually posted onto a server on Discord, but then later deleted. Could this be the Celeste that we're all asking about? Now, we've been talking a lot about Discord, but David's also on Reddit, and there are people who are concerned that David is currently like editing the Reddit to try to remove things of people like calling him out and things like that, trying to cover his trail. There are people who are reporting that their posts have been deleted by moderators on this post, and they're all suspecting that it's David because most of David's team have turned against him. Some people actually suspect that David has several accounts, one of them being titled Failing for Me, which is where he goes and removes people's posts that question him. Now, David wasn't in this alone. There were other people supporting his life and his lifestyle, like this guy Josh Marshall, who worked with David in his day-to-day life. So if there was a 13-year-old girl hanging around David, he 100% knew about it. He's also the one that helped David secure the house that he lives in. That probably Celeste was at some point. David was living in a house rented by his manager, Josh Marshall, who has a partnership with Interscope and also manages Little Mosey, who was acquitted of an R-word case. And he also represents Ruby Rose. Now, it looks like the company that Josh works for, it's called Mogul Vision, actually unfollowed David on Instagram. So he's trying his best to disassociate from this man. TMZ confirmed the house is rented by Josh Marshall, David's manager. Photos from February show him slouched on a piano bench, and a Twitch stream captures him singing in the kitchen with Benny Blanco. They compared the interior photos with the photos of the house on Real Estate, and they match. Look at this random clip of Benny Blanco hanging out with an alleged murderer, a suspected murderer. And they're all just hanging out like it's totally fine and cool. I wonder if Benny knew. But yeah, here he is in this house making all this content. It is disturbing to see how active this guy was. And there are so many celebrities who are now speaking out against him. But I didn't realize how cool he was with everyone. I would probably have to go to therapy if I found out I was hanging out with this guy, but I came across this article where it looks like there are people debating on whether David tried to push Celeste to do it herself. Like, there are lyrics where he sings about someone doing that. We can actually speak about this on YouTube. Like, I will get age restricted. So I just wanted to say that there's a conversation here before we close out of people saying that, like, is there a world where David, like, made Celeste do this to herself because he created such a hostile environment for her? And the thing is, I'm not going to write anything off. I mean, as far as like dismembering goes, like, she can't do that herself. So I don't think she could have done that, but could she have wanted to be out of this world because she was trapped in a hell that this man had created? Yeah, 100%. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoy this video. I will be keeping you up to date, especially that video where he's behind bars. I cannot wait to talk about that. But let me know in the comments below, what do you want me to talk about next? And I'll see you guys in a new one soon. Bye, guys.